So yeah, it sounds like we are close. We're close to the end. First things first, we've got to escape this computer situation, get back to normal size and out of the computer. However, once we do that, the question is going to be, what do we do next, right? Let's try to think ahead here. On the one hand, we're fixing the computer, so that I don't know. Maybe that will suffice for fixing project control. If so, maybe we go down to. I thought the helicopter was going to be our way off the island, but we did send a distress call message for help, so someone might come. Alternatively, we could always try taking shuttle car Betty somewhere, right? There's other stuff with the lamp, the radiation suit. I mean, we just don't have the radiation suit, so we can't. And as we've established here, we need that radiation suit to get to the radiation lab, to get the lamp, to get the supply room, to get the key and the access card to use the helicopter. So if that's out, I think the Betties are going to be our best bet. And then all of this stuff kind of comes. We did remove this spec, so that's done. We found the radiation. Or actually, no, we didn't find the radiation suit, so that's the problem. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think Betty would be our best bet. So as immediate next step, after we escape from the computer, we could mini booth. Maybe we could look at the computer room again at the computer, and then we might just head back to the system monitors. Or no, you know what? Let's just go to Betty. Can't think of much else we would do at that point if all of them have been fixed. So let's do it. All right. So we're at the strip near the relay. So we've got to go south a couple times. So, oh shit! Something just happened. Suddenly, with a loud plop, a giant elephant-sized monster lands on the strip just in front of you. It is amorphously shaped, its skin a slimy translucent red membrane. While most of your brain screams with panic about the disgusting monster that now blocks your exit, some small section in the back of your mind calmly realizes that this is merely some tiny microbe, which has somehow violated the sterile environment of the computer interior. As you stand, frozen with fear, the microbe slithers toward you, extending slimy pseudopods thick with waving cilia. It looks pretty hungry. It seems intent on having you for lunch. Uh-oh. Okay, what do we have? It's a red membrane, so maybe we fire the red laser. We still have the laser. A hungry microbe blocks your way, its cilia waving and its pseudopods towering over you. The microbe flows toward you. It towers above you, its cilia waving madly in your face. Let's try to kill it with the laser. I mean, that's the best weapon we have at microbe. The laser beam strikes the microbe but passes harmlessly through its red skin. Oh, so we got to move it to a different color. Probably. The microbe slithers closer. The cilia around its gullet glistens with mucus, giving the impression that the microbe is salivating. Okay, I don't know if we're going to have enough time for this, but set dial to 6. Nope, we didn't have time. The dial is now set to 6. The microbe wraps several pseudopods around you and shoves you into its mucus-covered gullet. Digestive juices begin their work. The experience is not pleasant. Oh, somehow we're on day 3 of this adventure. I guess when we restored, we never got to day 4. Fair enough. Okay, let's restore back. So let's set the dial to 6 ahead of time. Violet. Not sure which. What else do we have in our inventory? Yeah, I mean, we just have cards and canteen, so no, that's going to help us. The laser is cooled, but it still feels slightly warm. Okay, let's do this again. Fire laser at microbe. The laser beam strikes the microbe. The microbe's outer membrane sizzles a bit, and some protoplasm oozes out. The microbe recoils momentarily, but quickly recovers. A pseudopod extends toward you. You jump back just in time to avoid being engulfed. The laser feels slightly warm now, but doesn't seem to affect its performance at all. All right, let's fire another shot. Okay, it recovered again. Maybe we need to try a different color. we were firing violet. I mean, red doesn't work because we're firing it against the red guy. And then violet is like kind of effective, but maybe not enough. Do we have time to set the dial to 5, or are we going to die? Okay, yeah. No, we were able to. Laser is cooled. Fire at the blue laser now at microbe. Okay, the monster rears back for a moment, but almost as soon as the beam goes off, it advances again. Let's keep on trying different colors here. Let's go with green now. Nope, not enough. Okay, so we died again. Well, this seems either we need to get the right color or combination of colors, or we needed something else, a different solution entirely. But let's keep on going with the laser while we can. Set dial. Let's try. Did I even try green? I don't even think we were able to try green. Let's go to yellow. Fire laser at micro. I'm also wondering whether the laser temperature matters at all. Okay, and quickly recover from yellow. How about green? The beam slices through the microbe's skin. A tremendous shudder passes through the microbe, but the wound quickly seals itself. Damn it. A pseudopod shoots out toward your head. Ducking quickly, you save your life. Alright, so the green seemed to be the best. Can we just fire it again and hope that works out? No, now some protoplasm oozes out. 2 protoplasm-filled blobs sneak toward you from the left. You jump to the side and almost fall off the strip into the void below. Continue the fight with the green. The laser beam strikes. Okay, almost as soon as the beam goes off, it advances again. Let's keep the fight going. I mean, as long as it's not killing us. Maybe like just like when we were shooting through the red plastic and eventually we hit the speck. Maybe there's a little bit element of RNG here potentially. Let's see. Now we have another sneak attack. Another pseudopod, perhaps attracted by the warmth of the laser, tries to envelop the weapon. You snatch it away from the monster's grasp. The laser feels very warm now, but that doesn't... So the performance is not affected, but apparently it is attracted to the laser itself by it being too warm. So we might think, oh shit, maybe we need some of the coolant. We might need some of the coolant fluid for this to be able to win this fight. That's what my thought is. That's my thought. A slimy pseudopod brushes against your shoulder. You twist away in the nick of time. Another pseudopod, perhaps attracted, yeah. Alright, as long as we're able to keep it away, maybe that's good, but I have a feeling it's going to get so hot that maybe it'll take it away. The laser feels quite hot now. Yeah, let's just see what happens if it gets too hot. Maybe it'll get so hot that we'll drop it. That's probably what's going to happen. It's get too hot for us to hold. We'll drop it, the monster, and then we'll be like defenseless. That's probably what's going to happen. And I'm also wondering, I don't know if the color that you're firing exactly matters as long as it's not red. Getting the same descriptions though. Nope, now we died. The microbe, whipped into a rabid frenzy by the waves of heat from the pulsing laser, literally lunges at it. You jump back and, losing your balance, fall over the edge of the strip. The microbe, writhing madly, hurls itself after its prey. You and the microbe both plunge into the void below. You have died. Hey, we do have the rank of system captain for whatever that's worth. Probably not much. Okay, so yeah, either we need the coolants or we need to think of another... Let's look at our other inventory. How else could we fight this thing? We ate all the goo. Throw like some spam at it. Towel, we could wipe it away off with a towel. That would actually be pretty badass, to be honest. The problem is any one of these options we're going to have to do some restoration again. Medicine bottle. Oh, the breastplate. Maybe if we wore the breastplate? Maybe. I wonder if we could do that somehow. Yeah, nothing else is really making much sense here. Oh, wouldn't have frozen if this was Walking Dead. Good point, Aardvark. Good point. Alright, so we do... I guess that means, yeah, whatever we have now, we're good. Alright, let's restore. Let's just look at our inventory again. So we got the access cards, the canteen. Oh yeah, what if we poured the protein liquid on the microbe? But no, it's probably, maybe we just have to fire each setting of laser, maybe different colors. That's an interesting thought, actually. It's an interesting thought. Let's just try, though, the canteen first. Let's just try that, pouring the protein liquid. I'm sure it won't work, but let's try it anyway. You never know. Set dial to 2, orange. Okay, pour liquid on microbe. Oh, look at this. The monster wriggles nearer. It is now so close that you can make out the details in the protoplasm beneath its translucent skin. The protein-rich fluid pours over the microbe and then dries up. Okay, so that did not work, but good to confirm. Yeah, it's our special protein. All right, so let's set the dial to 2, and then every time it gets knocked back. The problem is if you have it in your face, then when you try to change the dial, that momentary move, then you get killed. So I think what we have to do is, if we want to change the dial to maybe try another laser color, and if it's in our face, just fire the laser again until he's knocked back to buy us an extra move to then fire the laser again. So let's try it this way. So we go to 2, which is going to be orange, because we know that red won't work. So now we're going to fire laser at microbe. Okay, it rears back for a moment, and now it advances again. So here's the question: do we have time? Do we have time to switch to yellow? Set dial to 3. We do. Fire laser at microbe. Okay, protoplasm oozes out. Now let's set the laser to 4, green. Oh, nope, now it killed us. So it killed us in 3. Well, actually not 3, there was... We'd fired, set to yellow, fire, and then as we set to green. So it killed us on the 4th move. Okay, let's try one more thing here. Green, blue, okay. I wonder, is there anything else we could fire at? We can't just go south, right? That would be hilarious if you could just walk by it. Okay, let's just look at the description again. Translucent red membrane. Okay, it is blocking the exit. Maybe we could fire at pseudopods? Okay, standing on the section of strip and cilia. There's cilia and pseudopods. Yeah, maybe we have to just fire off the pseudopods. Oh, you don't know where the word pseudopod. Okay, it probably means he doesn't know the word cilia either. Okay, so it's just the microbe. Alright, let's save here. Oh, and there are blobs as well, yeah. Microbe battle. Okay. Now, if we keep on doing this, no, I don't think it matters. Well, let's think about red. Let's think about this logically. Red is composed of orange and yellow. Or, excuse me, red plus yellow equals orange. So maybe we want to stay on the green-blue violet edge of the spectrum. In fact, yeah, you know what? Let's try that instead. Let's start at violet and then we'll work all the way down. I'd rather do that. Wait, wrong place to restore. All right, set dial to 6. Okay, fire laser at microbe. Okay, save. Set dial to 5. Fire laser at microbe. Okay, so this time we got killed when we tried to set again. So let's just fire again. Same thing. Coils momentarily. We need to knock it back. Tremendous shudder passes through the microbe. And it slices through the microbe's skin. So maybe now we can maybe go to green? No. Cannot. Alright, so I'm wondering whether this is a color issue or something else. Maybe we just have to get lucky, although that kind of seems random. And we're sure that red doesn't work. Let me just try again here. With it at 1, which is red. Yeah, harmlessly. So we definitely don't want red, but the question is, does any other color work, or does it not even matter? It seems like green and blue are the best bets, but let's just go all green. Oh shit, I wanted to restore. I didn't want to take you on here. Set dial to 4. Okay, tremendous shudder. That's good. Another tremendous shudder. Another tremendous shudder. Maybe we just needed to rest it now, like, so avoid it getting too hot. So maybe like sit one out. Rear's back for a moment. Okay, it feels very warm. Alright, so maybe we just sit one shot out and let it cool down. Let's try doing that. Set laser to 5. Go to blue. Okay, slither's closer. I don't know if we can afford... You know what, let's save, but... I don't know if we can afford to... wait again, but we can almost kind of have to. Unless we die. Wait, one more? Nope, yep, you die. Okay, so we gotta fire it. So, fire laser. We're back in the middle of the strip where we just fired the green a bunch of times. Okay, it's very warm again. Yeah, yeah, so the trick is, I think you just want to keep... I think it's less about color. I think as long as it's not red, any color will work. I don't think we have to worry about combinations of colors. I think it's just firing it enough times, but then letting it cool down so it doesn't get too hot. I think that'll be the trick. Which means we definitely don't want to be setting any dials. Just keep it on green and just go full blower. Yeah, see, it's warm. It's too warm, so you gotta wait one out, but yeah, but then you die. Alright, so let's try this again. This time we'll just keep it at 4 on green. And then once it gets warm, okay, now it's cool. It has cooled. Slightly warm. Hang on, one more thing. Let's try one more thing. We go back here, set dial to 4. What if we just wait here? Does it cool off more? Okay, here's the thing of it, you wait too long. With a furious storm of electrical mayhem, Sector 384 comes to life. A few microvolts course through the silicon strip on which you stand. Fortunately, at your current size, this is enough to barbecue you. Okay, so that's that death. So it doesn't go down. I think you just want it cooled, but slightly warm is okay. Oh shit! I restored the wrong slot. Damn it! All right, I'm just gonna delete that one. Okay, here we go. Set tile to 4. Look, laser. Okay, now it's cooled. South. Okay, fire laser at microbe. Okay, it's slightly warm. Remember, we get 1 shot, so I think we want it to be warm, but not above that. So as soon as we hit the next temperature level, I think that's when we sit out 1, and then just keep on firing. Okay, somewhat warm. Was the past one slightly warm or somewhat warm more than slightly warm? Yeah. Okay, fire laser. All right, that was our 1 shot not to do it. Hey, Capo, yeah. But the problem is you know what? The problem is it didn't cool. It did not cool. That really didn't help us much at all. So maybe we just always have to keep it cool. I don't know. See, we can just keep on firing, but now it gets very warm. And I think if we wait here, let's just save again, but I think if we let the laser cool off, it's not gonna work. Actually, can we just go back north? Let's see. No, the microbe writhing angrily follows you northward. Okay, at least that kind of bought us another move, maybe. Damn it. Too much for you, Servo? Well, put it this way, there are many more non-text games than there are text adventures. So I don't know whether you just need to get lucky or eventually it's just going to grab it. And we essentially only get 1 move when the combat is started, in which we don't have to fire the laser. Actually, wait a minute. If it's attracted by the warmth of the laser, let's just throw the laser off the. We should just throw the laser off the strip. Throw laser onto strip, or off the void. Thrown. Well, if it was attracted by the laser, it should have gone after the laser, no? Hang on, what was the... Oh, void. I should have done throw laser into void. Hang on, let's try this. Set dial to 4. Let's just do it until it's very hot and then throw it into the void. Let's try that. Okay, fire laser at microbe. We'll just keep on going until it's warm. Okay, somewhat warm. Very warm. Okay, now it's attracted by the warmth of the laser. So let's save here. Can we throw laser into void? As the laser flies over the edge of the strip, the hungry microbe lunges after it. Both the laser and the microbe plummet into the void. Whew. All right, there we go. We got it. Because then I was trying to think. I kept thinking about trying to cool it. Well, if it's just going to go after the laser, it'll go after the laser no matter where the laser is. So, all right, that was a nice puzzle. I liked that. Okay, now let's escape out of here. A voice seems to whisper in your ear. Main miniaturization and teleportation booth. Oh, and we got 4 points. To 75. 8 more sets. All right, we're 5 points away. Main miniaturization booth and teleportation booth has malfunctioned. Switching to auxiliary booth. Feel the familiar wrenching of your innards and find yourself in a vast room whose distant walls are rushing straight toward you. So if we're in an auxiliary booth, this might tell us that we don't have to worry about figuring out where to go. This may just lead to the end. The auxiliary booth. It is another small booth. Unlike the miniaturization booth, this room has no slot or keyboard, so presumably it is intended only as a receiving station. The exit is on the northern side. Let's save. Auxiliary booth. Okay, we can go north. Lab office. Oh, wait a minute. Did we see the lab office? Was there a lab office? There's a ProjCon office, lab storage, a main lab, a bio... No, I don't think we saw the lab office. All right, it's a new room. This is the office for storing files on biolab experiments. A large and messy desk is surrounded by locked files. A small booth lies to the south. A closed door to the west is labeled Biolab. You realize with shock and horror that the only way out is through the mutant-infested oh shit, the biolab, yes. Okay, so now we know that this area is actually over here. Labeled lab lights off, and a red button labeled emergency system. Okay, that seems to warrant a save. Find only one item of interest, a memo of some sort. The desk itself is closed, but it doesn't look locked. Alright, let's read the memo. Memo to all lab personnel. Due to the dangerous nature of the bioexperiments, an emergency system has been installed. This system would flood the entire biolab with a deadly fungicide. Fungicide? Proper precautions should be taken if this system is ever used. Okay, if the deadly fungus, how we could kill the monsters, but how do we survive ourselves? Let's open up the desk and see if there's any other information. Open it. Opening the desk reveals a gas mask. Well, that's exactly what we need. Take the gas mask. Wear the gas mask. You're wearing the gas mask. All right. What was the deal with the wall again? Or the buttons? So we have lab lights on, off, and emergency system. We might as well have the lab lights on, and then we'll push the red button. You hear the faint sound of a relay clicking. Alright, let's push the red button for the emergency system. You hear a hissing from beyond the door to the west. Let's do it. The office door is closed. Well, let's open it. The office door is now open. Through the open doorway, you can see the biolab. It seems to be filled with a light mist. Horrifying biological nightmares stagger about, making choking noises. A recorded announcement blares from the public address system. Revival procedure beginning. Cryo chamber access from Project Control Office now open. So we can access the cryo chamber. Okay, we're going to bring back everybody to life. Yeah. We're going to bring back all the people from the cryo chambers, and that's in the Project Control Office, which is here. So hopefully we can pass through the biolab with the guys choking, the monsters choking. Or do we have to wait for them to die? Let's just try passing. See what happens. Okay. There's a huge laboratory filled with many biological experiments. The lighting is bright. Some of the experiments seem to be out of control. A ferocious feral creature with a hairy shelled body and a whip-like tail snaps its enormous mandibles at you. A giant plant teeming with poisonous tentacles is shuffling toward you on 3 leg-like stalks. Lurking nearby is a vicious-looking creature with slavering fangs. Squinting in the light, it eyes you hungrily. Rushing toward you is an ugly, deformed humanoid, bellowing in a guttural tongue. It brandishes a piece of lab equipment shaped somewhat like a battle axe. The air is filled with mist, which is affecting the mutants. They appear to be stunned and confused, but are slowly recovering. Oh, well, fuck this. Let's get out of here. They're probably going to tell us the door is closed. Let's save, yeah. They're probably going to tell us the door is closed. Go west. Yeah, lab door is closed. Open lab door. Yep. Now, of course, just by trying to go west and not being able to and opening the door, we died. The last traces of mist in the air vanish. The mutants, recovering quickly, notice you and begin salivating. Dozens of hungry eyes fix on you as the mutations surround you and begin feasting. You have died. Okay, we do have the rank of Cluster Admiral. Okay, let's do it again. So just open the lab door. The door opens, go west. Biolock east. Okay, now we definitely need to... This is the second half of the sterilization chamber leading from the main biolab to the biolab, so we're able to cross through. The door to the east leading the biolab has a window. The biolock continues to the west. Oh shit. Your former companion Floyd is lying on the ground in a pool of oil. We still weren't able to revive Floyd? Sucks. Hey, Alkin. The mutants burst into the room right on your heels. Needle-sharp mandibles nip at your arms. Alright, so we just gotta move. We can't even... They didn't even give us time to close the door. Biolock west. The door at the eastern end of the biolock closes silently, but the monsters gallop toward you, smacking their lips. So I'm a little concerned here because... I don't know, I think that door is probably closed. That would allow us to go northwest. Or west, rather. Yep. The biolock door is closed. Okay. So we got to restore that and open the biolock door. Okay, door opens. Can't go. Oh, fuck. I meant to go west, not northwest. Damn it. Alright, Death 25. Yeah, yeah, slots are frozen, right? Alright, so open biolock door. Now just go west. Main lab. The mutants burst into the room. Okay. The growling humanoid is charging straight at you, waving his axe-like implement. Okay. So we have to make it to the ProjCon office. So fastest way doesn't really seem to matter, but we're just kind of too... Actually, no, it does matter. Let's go computer room southwest and then west. Mutants burst into the room right on your heels. Needle-sharp mandibles nip at your arms. ProjCon office. Okay, the growling humanoid is charging straight at you. So, okay, look at this. The mural that had previously adorned the south wall has slid away, revealing an open doorway to a large elevator. Uh-oh, I hope we have the elevator access card we need for this. This game is huge on the access cards. Let's save here just in case. Okay, let's go south to the cryo elevator. That whole thing with the mural blowing, we actually, as it turns out, we did solve that by just kind of doing nothing at all. So we did fix all of the systems. That's done. Well, I guess we can keep that here. Find out what to do with the mural. So the mural, that's good. All set there. And then this room is the cryo elevator. There's a large, plain elevator with one solitary button and a door to the north which is open. The monsters are storming straight toward the elevator door. Alright, push the button. The elevator door closes just as the monsters reach it. You slump back against the wall, exhausted from the chase. The elevator begins to move downward. Alright, we escaped the monsters, got another 5 points, which means another 10 Cedrics. And we have all 80 points that we need. So I think the end of the game should be right here. Thereabouts. So we just gotta wait for it to Continue moving downward. And El Gabo, thank you very much for the host. A major host from El Gabo. Welcome everybody for what could be the end here of Planetfall. The elevator door opens onto a room to the north. Let's go north. Cryo anteroom. The elevator closes as you leave it, and you find yourself in a small, chilly room. The cryo anteroom. To the north, through a wide arch, is an enormous chamber, lined from floor to ceiling with thousands of cryo units. You can see similar chambers beyond, and your mind staggers at the thought of the millions of individuals asleep for countless centuries. In the anteroom where you stand is a solitary cryo unit, its cover frosted. Next to the cryo unit is a complicated control panel. A door slides open and a medical robot glides in. It opens the cryo unit and administers an injection to its inhabitant. As the robot glides away, a figure rises from the cryo unit. A handsome, middle-aged woman with flowing red hair. She spends some time studying readouts from the control panel, pressing several keys. As other cryo units in the chambers beyond begin opening, the woman turns to you, bows gracefully, and speaks in a beautiful, lilting voice. I am Veldina, leader of Reseda. Thanks to you, the cure has been discovered, and the planetary systems repaired. We are eternally grateful. You will also be glad to hear that ship of your stellar patrol now orbits the planet. I have sent them the coordinates for this room. As if on cue, a landing party from the SPS Flathead materializes nearby. Lather is with them, having been picked up from deep space in another escape pod, babbling cravenly. Captain Sterling of the Flathead acknowledges your heroic actions and informs you of your promotion to Lieutenant First Class. As a team of mutant hunters head for the cryo elevator, Veldina mentions that the grateful people of Reseda offer you leadership of their world. Captain Sterling points out that even if you choose to remain on Reseda, Lather, demoted to Ensign 12th Class, has been assigned as your personal toilet attendant. And Zabunker, thank you for the host. Welcome everyone from Zabunker to the end of Planetfall here. You feel a sting from your arm and turn to see a medical robot moving away from administering the antidote for the disease. A team of robot technicians steps into the anteroom. They part their ranks, and a familiar figure comes bounding towards you. Hi! Shouts Floyd with uncontrolled enthusiasm. Yes, Floyd's alive. Floyd feeling better now. Smiling from ear to ear, he says, Look what Floyd found. He hands you a helicopter key, a reactor elevator card, and a paddleball set. Maybe we can use them in the sequel. Your score would be 80 out of 80 points. It is day 3 of your adventure. Current galactic standard time, adjusted to your local day cycle, is 59:52. This score gives you the rank of Galactic Overlord. And there it is in 9 hours and 23 minutes. Planetfall has fallen. We restored everyone, all the Resedians, from their cryogenic sleep. The mutants have been defeated. The SPS Flathead has found us, and most importantly of all, Floyd is alive. He's alive. Wow, but yeah, that was that. I can see why that sold well and is considered one of the better Infocom games. I mean, it was definitely easier than something like Zork and some of the other Infocom games we've seen, but this more than any other, maybe with the exception of Fahrenheit 451, but all the other text adventures we played, this had like the best story. I mean, clearly, really well done. I loved how they revealed it in sort of stages and phases, and you were kind of mysterious. You didn't know what was going on, where you were. And I love how they revealed that world. and a desolate world too, but they gave it personality. Obviously, thanks to Floyd, for the most part. But yeah, it was a great game of sort of exploration. I was really worried early when we had the food and resource constraints and sleeping. I was like, oh god, it's another one of these things where we're going to have to optimize everything. So I kept on intending or planning to restart at a certain point, but we just never really had to. I guess we probably had, maybe Ambrosine, if you make it to day 8 and you have, or day 8, 9, or 10 and you haven't finished the game, maybe there's a death there from having taken too long. I'm not sure, but if there is, we finished obviously well in time on day 3. I don't think we ever did find out why the ship exploded. Yeah, and yeah, we did beat it without any hints, which is neat. But that's pretty cool. I was very close early on day 2 when we only scored 2 points the entire day. That was Monday night. We only got 2 points for firing the laser, and we never. But finding the key, that was like proved to be our puzzle in the game, was finding that key in the crevice. And there was so much more we could potentially have done. I don't know what happens if you try to ride Shuttle Car Betty. Does that just take you back to the Calamanti complex? I'm curious. But yeah, there were a bunch of sort of, I guess, troll puzzles, like with getting the radiation suit and getting into the radiation lab and unlocking these cabinets that we never ended up having to do. But our friend Floyd gave us those items there at the end. Yeah, we did get the max score. But I think you have to get the max score in order to even beat the game, I think. Hey, Zenek, by the way. And Sircher. And anyone else just joining us. So let's head to our, let's head to our Hall of Adventure. And add game number 81, Planetfall. Up on the board. Up on the shelf there, right after Conquest of the Longbow. So yeah, thank you again to the Real Ambrosine. Really enjoyed that game. I think my favorite Infocom game that we've played so far. Again, the puzzles weren't the toughest, but it was the most entertaining to play. I'll say that much. To explore.